I've managed to empty quite a few of my beauty products lately, as you can see. And so it is time for another Empties video. In case you're new here, hi, my name is Ulrike. I'm a K-beauty and skincare content creator and just general skin enthusiast. And I'm happy to have you with me today to help me get rid of my beauty trash. So let's start with cleansers. I'm so proud of myself for finishing quite a few cleansers actually. I think there's like 2 or even 3 in here. 2, I see 2. But I worked very hard to empty them. And let's start with one that I feel you probably know if you are active in the skincare community. It's not a Korean one. It's from Hungary. It's a brand from Hungary, Geek and Gorgeous, a brand that I feel very close to. I have been writing about them, supporting them long before they went viral on TikTok in 2017, I think, pretty much when they started out with their liquid exfoliants. And this is their cleanser. This is, I don't actually know if the camera picks it up because my lighting is still not great. Sorry. One day I'll upgrade, I promise. If I ever get to maybe like 5,000 subscribers, something like that. So in 3 years, if I grow the way I do anyway. This is Jelly Joker and it's their second step cleanser, although you can also just use it as one step cleanser if you don't wear a lot of makeup. It does use micellar technology, so it can remove lighter makeup and sunscreen, and it's a non-foaming jelly cleanser and it's wonderful. Jelly Joker, to me, one of the best gentle, fuss-free, no frills, unisex, works on pretty much everyone type of cleanser. It is very straightforward, so there's always a bit of a, I guess, like inelegance to it if you are used to more sophisticated textures, but it does the job and it does it very, very well, and it is very affordable. I would always repurchase this. I'm pretty sure I still have another one somewhere in my stash as well. So I'll probably just keep using it. It's great. It's always a 10 out of 10, as are most Geek and Gorgeous products. And then I also have a K-beauty cleanser here, and it's this one. I'm so proud of finishing this one because it takes forever. You only need a tiny, teeny bit of it. It just lasts so long, and it is another quite affordable one. Not as affordable as the Geek and Gorgeous one. I think this one is usually around like $11, I want to say. But it is also another one that I really, really can recommend to especially people with younger skin, acne-prone skin. It worked very well for my skin as well. I have been a huge fan of this cleanser for as long as I've used it, which is a long time because, again, it took forever to finish it. And it's the Skin 1004 Madagascar Centella Ampoule Foam. This one was from a collaboration. I believe this was when I did a blog collaboration with Olive Young that they sent this to me. But I also worked with Skin 1004 on a blog post and tried quite a few of their products. I really like this brand. It is not very well known in Korea. It targets more international audience and customers, which I think is totally valid. There's always this strange elitism from some content creators that kind of implies that indie brands that go more for an international audience are somehow not good or fake or something like that. If a brand is good, a brand is good. So I don't mind too much. The only thing I find annoying is when people pretend it is popular in Korea when it's not. The Skin 1004 sunscreen is, but still not to the same level as other sunscreens, but like it's starting to be available in Korea. This is a very, very good cleanser. It's very affordable, especially for someone with younger and acne-prone skin. This works very well. I find that it's very non-stripping. I would always repurchase this. It's one of the best cleansers I've tried recently. And then I also am very proud of having finished 2 toner pads, which is also not easy to do. And let's go with, which one first? Let's go with the more peeling, exfoliating one that I don't think many people know. It's another product that is better known in Korea and not so much internationally. The whole brand, I don't think, is as well known overseas yet as it is in Korea. In Korea, it's a real sort of staple brand that always wins some award and is in the bestseller rankings of Olive Young, mostly for their sunscreen, but this toner pad was also quite popular for a while. I tried it because I just wanted to see if I can find another exfoliating toner pad that is as good as the Well-Aged one, the Well-Aged Cica one that I love so much, because I always feel it's good to have variety and not always recommend the same 5 products, because it gets a bit boring, I guess, content-wise. And this is the Cell Fusion C Pore Tox Pad. It doesn't say here, and I have to admit I didn't look it up, so I don't 100% remember which exfoliating ingredients are in there. From what I remember, it had, I think, PHA. This, I liked it. I did really like it. But I also don't think I would repurchase it because it did not impress me as much as the Well-Aged pads. And also I've been trying another exfoliating pad at the moment that I also really, really like. Watch this space. I will talk about it soon, from a brand where you might be surprised that I like it, but that's all I'm going to say. I liked it. I finished it and I enjoyed it. I do think it is very mildly exfoliating, to the point that I didn't really see as much improvement in texture as I see with the Well-Aged pads when I use them regularly. It's more hydrating and soothing overall, but it's fine for sensitive skin. I would say if I had to rate it out of 10, I would say maybe like a 7. So it's good, but the Well-Aged one for me is still a 10 out of 10. And not many pads can get to that full marks perfection that the Well-Aged ones have, except that new pad that I'm trying that I'm going to tell you all about soonish. Then I also finished these pads from Abib. These probably are the most popular toner pads and have been for years now in Korea when it comes to sort of soothing toner pads. They have won awards. They have been the #1 in the toner pad category at Olive Young, sort of the Olive Young yearly awards, which are basically just sales awards. They've always topped those, have been popular since the pandemic, at least, if not even before that. I don't quite remember when they came out. These are their Heartleaf spot pads. They contain Hutuinia cordata extract and not much else. They're mostly soothing, a little bit hydrating. I really like these. I think that when you use these for the first time, after hearing possibly a lot of hype around them because they are so popular in Korea, you might have very high expectations what they can do for your skin. And I just want to pre-warn you, they're kind of subtle, they're kind of understated. They will calm your skin, and they do this better than most other products that I know. So if you have skin that is very reactive, very sensitive, very sensitized, redness prone, these are wonderful, but they don't do anything spectacular. They really mostly calm down your skin and slightly hydrate it. So don't expect anything to happen to your acne. Don't expect anything magical to happen to your skin texture. That's not really what they're there for. They will soothe and hydrate a little bit. They're not super hydrating, I find, but they bring down the redness, they bring down the inflammation, and for that, they're really wonderful. I would definitely repurchase these. I am a huge fan of Abib. They only keep getting better and better, in my opinion. And this is their star product, their bestseller, their breakout product. And speaking of star, breakout, breakthrough, bestseller products, I also finished this, which of course is the famous Round Lab DOKDO toner, which I don't think there's a toner in Korea as beloved, as well received, as widely purchased as this one. It is not the Anua toner or Anua, I never know how to say the brand. It's not the Heartleaf toner, it is this one. This is the #1 toner in Korea and has been for years and years and years. Nothing ever truly tops it. And I understand why. I did a whole rant about this toner, positive rant, love letter to this toner in another video. I don't remember which one, but I remember talking about it for a long, long time in a video. It is just just like the Abib toner pads, very understated, simple, minimalist toner that is just beautiful for reactive skin, sensitive skin. It's not hyper hydrating. This is not the toner to get if you're severely dehydrated, I find. But if you are sensitive, hypersensitive, if you just need something very simple, it is very tiny bit exfoliating, not much in my opinion. I think that's always a bit overstated how much it exfoliates. For me, it's mostly soothing, and it is a good one to pick when your skin is just all over the place and can't deal with anything, because there's so little in here that could trigger any type of allergy or sensitivity. It doesn't mean you can't be allergic to it, because everyone can be allergic to everything, but in general, it is a well-tolerated, really beautiful toner. And let's continue with serums, I guess. What's in here? Yeah, serums. Here's a round lab one. So let's go with this one, which is that one. Green and pretty and wonderful. This is the second bottle that I finished of this one. So it might have been an Empties one before, I'm not sure. This is from their Pine Cica, Round Lab Pine Cica range, which is specifically for more oilier skin, younger skin, acne-prone skin, prone to breakouts, but also sensitive. I love this one. I actually am considering repurchasing it because I kind of miss it in my routine, but I also have quite a few that I want to finish up and a couple of new serums that I want to try out. This is always the battle, the first world problem battle that you have as a reviewer of products and talking about products, that sometimes your favorites, you can't kind of go back to them because you have other things to try. This to me is so beautiful, specifically if you do have more oily skin that tends to be dehydrated, and it is really difficult to find good products for oilier or combo skin that is easily overwhelmed by textures that are too stifling or too nourishing, but they still get very dehydrated. So this one really works for that. The texture is beautiful, it's very light, but I did find this extremely hydrating, and also it really does have a very strong soothing effect on my skin. So this is one that I always kind of reached for during freak out times when I had hormonal breakouts, or when my skin, because of hay fever, which at the moment is insane. Pollen season this year, because it's been so humid here in Europe, has been an absolute nightmare. So my skin is constantly inflamed and red because the pollen really aggravates my skin as well. And products like these, like this Ampoule, really do help a lot to bring down the reactiveness and the redness. So if you are oily, combo, acne prone, but at the same time, you also tend to be very sensitive, this is a beautiful one to choose. It's also, from what I remember, I believe it is free from fragrance and alcohol. The fragrance, I cannot 100% say, but I'm quite certain, but definitely alcohol free and really, really very, very soothing. And then we have, that's right, I finished this. Sadly, I finished this because I really, really like it. It's another one I kind of want to repurchase, but I also have others to try. And this is the Innisfree Vitamin C Green Tea Enzyme Brightening Serum. Beautiful. This is beautiful. I also did a whole video on this. I think it's one of my most watched video on brightening serums from Korea. This is one of the ones that I tried and recommended. I still, after finishing it, would absolutely recommend this. It contains a derivative, so it's not a pure ascorbic acid serum. But for me, it still actually worked, brightening my skin a little bit, not quite as extreme as an ascorbic acid one would, but it is also much gentler. And I really enjoyed the overall brightening of this product a lot, while still remaining very sensitive skin friendly. It didn't aggravate my skin at all. It was a really pleasant experience to use. It's really good for people with more oily or acne prone skin, because it also has a bit of a sebum reducing effect, although I didn't find it too extreme, so it doesn't mattify or anything, but it kind of just regulates oil production a little bit due to the enzymes in here. And it's also got a lot of antioxidants, so it's also good for smart aging. The texture is beautiful, very elegant, very interesting, because it's got these little vitamin pearls in it. This is gorgeous. One of the best, I want to say, Amore Pacific launches of the past months. And then there's one more serum from Geek and Gorgeous, and it's this one. And it's a bee balm, which is a 10% niacinamide serum. It's still the best niacinamide serum that I've ever tried. I'm trying a drugstore one from a German drugstore brand called Rossmann at the moment. Not as good. We'll probably not finish that one and probably repurchase Bee Balm because it's the best. There's not a single hyped niacinamide serum that I've tried, certainly not a 10% one, that I have enjoyed and have seen results with in the same way as I have with this one. It really helps with my redness. It is one of the only niacinamide serums where I really feel that it does bring down the redness a little bit, evens out my skin tone. It is so, so good. I cannot overstate how good Bee Balm is. Now, Geek and Gorgeous is now actually available in many German drugstores. So if you live in Germany, just know that it's available at many DM stores now, and also apparently Müller. So that's quite exciting. I got really emotional when I saw them at DM because, again, I remember Geek and Gorgeous when they were just a tiny, teeny brand. I've also done translations for the German online shop. So, I'm very connected to this brand and I really do love them. And I'm excited for their success. Bee Balm, this is probably my 6th bottle. I will repurchase this. Nothing really compares to how good this is, in my opinion. I don't use this pure. I usually put 3 or 4 drops into another serum because 10% I find is a little bit too high to just use it as a pure serum. So that's how I use it, and it works very, very well for me. And then I have a lot of moisturizers in here. So let's go through these. This one also took me quite a while to finish. This is quite old, I believe. I tend to not really throw out skincare unless it definitely goes bad. I just kind of use it up. I don't know, that's probably a faux pas or bad or whatever, but that's what I do. I don't like to throw out things. So I did finish this, but because it's a little bit of a richer cream, I only used it in winter. So I think it took me 2 winters to finish it. But you see, because the winter was so long this time and we didn't get any warm weather until basically now in Germany, I use this quite a lot, even still in spring. And it's the Benton Let's Carrot Moisture Cream. I like this a lot. I am surprised that not more people talk about Benton. It used to be a very hyped brand, but somehow, I don't know, they just kind of fell into obscurity a little bit for some reason. And they have a lot of fantastic products. This is a beautiful cream because it is actually very rich and very nourishing, but the texture is very, very light. It almost feels more like an emulsion. So for my combo skin, this worked very well and didn't overwhelm it, but it always felt extremely nourishing, especially overnight. I would definitely repurchase this. I have too many other moisturizers, so I won't repurchase it, but I would always recommend it for drier skin that doesn't like too heavy a texture. It's really beautiful, and usually Benton is also very affordable. And then I also finished this one from Skin 1004. Very proud of myself because it was a huge package size. I think it was like 75 milliliters. I really did enjoy this a lot. It is very, very light. It has a very light texture. It's a very light gel. So it's not very nourishing. Very often I kind of used it more like a a layering, hydrating layer almost, not really like a moisturizer, because I just need a little bit more. But for younger skin, I think this is very, very lovely. And it's the Skin 1004 Madagascar Centella Soothing Cream. It is not a cream, it is definitely just a gel. And it is mostly water-based. I think only in the hottest weather did I use it as a singular moisturizer. But what I like about it is that it is very, very soothing. I find the Centella extract in this one in particular is very good. Seems very good quality and definitely has that anti-inflammatory effect on my skin. And it is very, very hydrating. So if you need more hydration than nourishment, which is usually the case when you still have younger skin, like 20s, I want to say, or teens. I think for teenagers, this is a really lovely hydrating gel cream because it's so light, it sinks in fast, and it's very frill and fuss free. But for mature skin like mine, it's usually not enough, but I also think it's not made for us, so that's fine. That wouldn't be a point of criticism, just to give you information about the product. And on to more moisturizers. I told you I finished quite a lot. Now this one, it's another one that I used for a long time, because now it's actually been rebranded and put into a completely new packaging. It was still good. It worked just fine, so I did not throw it out. It was 100 ml packaging size, so that's why I used. It took me a long time to use it up, and I used it so much because I really, really, really like this one a lot, and it is very affordable. And it's this one again. It has a different packaging style now, but this is the Bring Green Tea Tree Cica Soothing Cream. A big hit in Korea. It's very, very popular. Of course, Bring Green is an Olive Young home brand, so to speak. So they also push it quite aggressively, especially when they rebrand it. They did all sorts of like special bonus sales events to push the new launch. But honestly, having tried it, it's a very, very good cream. I would say this one is a little bit better than the Skin 1004 one. They both contain Centella, but I find this one, it is also a gel cream, but it is more moisturizing and nourishing overall. This I could use very comfortably during the summer month as my daytime moisturizer. It also contains a little bit of tea tree, so it's really, really good when you have redness, when you have acne, and it is very soothing. And just, yeah, I really enjoyed this one, to the point where I think this one I might actually potentially repurchase, even though, again, I have so many creams. But I do miss this one quite a lot now that the warmer weather hits here. This is the one I would always reach for. It's really fantastic for anyone with more oilier type skin. And we're not done with the Cica creams, because I also finished this one, which is a smaller size. I still have the full size. This was like a special sample size, extra free gift. And this is the Make Prem Inteca Soothing Cream. This is a Cica cream that I've also talked about before, because to me, this is one of the best Cica balms or Cica creams that I've ever tried. The texture is gorgeous. It is very simple. And it's kind of like a gel that feels, I don't know how to describe it, but almost like a medicinal gel. You know, those types of gels that you put on scars, for instance, or put on almost like an ointment, but it is more balmy and silicone-y. It's not it's not like a greasy, oily cream, but it's still very, very light. This is kind of the texture. I hope I explained that well enough. And this, to me, next to the Cosrx Cica cream, which I also really, really like, one of the best Cica creams. I use this a lot either as a spot treatment if I have areas of redness, or all over, especially at night, to just kind of bring down the redness and the reactivity. And it's always one of the best remedies I can try. Really highly recommend it. just don't expect it to offer a lot of moisture. To me, this is more like a healing spot treatment almost, but as such, it works very, very well. I think this is the last moisturizer. That's another one I really like and would fully repurchase any day of the week. Now, this one is actually quite a rich cream, probably the richest I've tried in a long time. And you might actually know it because it's very popular. And this is from Dr. Jart Plus, and it's the Ceramidin cream. I think that's, yeah, it's just called the Ceramidin cream. And this one, I actually emptied this quite fast because I did use it so much. I wasn't sure when I started using it if it would be too heavy for me, but it's not at all. This truly is one of the richest creams that I've tried, because usually I kind of am always a bit nervous about rich creams because they still tend to break me out, even though I should be past the age of breakouts, but I am not. And so I'm always nervous about barrier creams such as this one, but it's just beautiful. The thing with the Ceramidin cream is that it just makes the skin so soft. If you want sort of velvety skin, highly recommend it. This is probably my favorite barrier cream or barrier repairing cream that I've tried. The only thing about it is, unfortunately, it is fragranced. I wish it wasn't, because I know a lot of people with dry skin and people who need barrier repairing creams also can't deal well with fragrance. So it's just annoying to me because I cannot recommend it to everyone. But if you are okay with fragrance, then this one is a really fantastic product. It is a little bit pricey, I find, but it's also kind of worth it because the texture is just so beautiful. And again, it just gives your skin this gorgeous, velvety slip almost if you use it overnight. And then I have one eye cream, which I also struggle to finish, to be honest. And it's this one from a German brand. But the reason I tried it is actually because it is very, very popular in Korea, and that intrigued me because it's a German brand, a German pharmacy brand. But Koreans really, really love European pharmacy brands, in particular this German one, which is Eucerin. That's how you actually pronounce it, but I believe Americans usually say Eucerin, but it is Eucerin because EU is Eu in German. So Eucerin, and it's the Hyaluron. Oh, I'm actually not sure if I should say this in German or in English. Hyaluron filler, and it's just the eye cream. I think it doesn't say anything else. It doesn't have anything in English here, just in German. So I'm going to stick to the German, which is Hyaluron filler. And this is one of the most popular eye creams at Olive Young, and it usually tops the bestseller list in that category. And so I wanted to try it. It's okay. I don't actually see what the fuss is about, to be honest. The texture is quite nice. It is a cream, but it doesn't feel too heavy or too compact. I didn't see any improvement on my eye area with it. I do think it's a very gentle eye cream. What is a bit special is that it has actually SPF 15, which isn't high, but it's at least something. So I did use it quite a lot last summer and this spring as well, to have at least a little bit of coverage, because I can't really have sunscreen around my eyes, high SPF sunscreen, because it just inflames my eyes, unfortunately. So for that, I quite liked it, but it's quite expensive. And for that, I don't really think it's worth the hype, in all truth. It was very basic. So I don't know why Koreans go crazy for this. I think there are better products out there from their own brands. I prefer Korean eye creams to the European ones that I've tried so far. Okay, almost done. 3 more, 2 sunscreens. So let's start with this one, which looks pretty bad. I always have to point this out. I do not clean my empties, so they often look a bit worse for wear. after they've been in this for a while. So this is the Make Prem Mild Tone Up Sun Cream to brighten your skin. They always have like 3 different names here. I think it's actually UV Defense Me Calming Tone Up Sun Cream. I think the other one is just a PR, the marketing tagline. Anyway, this is their tone up sunscreen, which is this one, which I did finish and did like. I still wouldn't repurchase it because it was just a little bit too, I can't fault the sunscreen for that. It's more kind of me, I think, expecting something from a tone-up sunscreen that can honestly never be fulfilled. It just was a little bit too whitening for me. But I shouldn't complain about this because that is the point of a tone-up sunscreen. So I think it's just me wanting a tone-up sunscreen that is more sort of brightening and shimmer enhancing versus always making my skin look very chalky white. This one is not as bad as others that I've tried. So if you are very pale, I think this can be very nice. Or of course, if you want that extreme whitening effect, for me it was a little bit much, but I did finish it. So I felt as a base for other makeup, this actually worked quite well to just kind of even out your skin tone. But yeah, it will make your skin quite pale and a little bit chalky. But again, that is actually what Koreans usually want from the tone-up sunscreen. So it's just me as a Westerner, I think, always kind of fundamentally misunderstanding the tone-up genre category, or wanting something from it that it just won't fulfill. So not the fault of the product. I just want something from it that it probably will never give me. And then we have a sunscreen that I really love so much that I cut it open to get the last the last bits out of it. And it's this one from numbuzin. It's their newer sunscreen, the Clear Filter Sun Essence with SPF 50. One of the best sunscreens I've tried pretty much the past years. A wonderful texture, very, very unique texture, very pleasant texture. The sun protection was very good from my experience, and just probably the ideal sunscreen, especially for more combo skin and more oily skin. It's not super moisturizing, it's more a little bit hydrating. So if you have more drier skin, I still think the Round Lab Birch Juice sunscreen is the best one you can try then. But otherwise, this is one of the best ones next to the Anua sunscreen, which I also liked, in the Be Plain sunscreen. I would definitely repurchase this, might actually do so. We'll see. I still have a few sunscreens that I want to finish up. But yeah, this one was fantastic. And again, one of the best ones I've tried in recent years for sure. And then guess what? I am extra proud of finishing a cushion foundation. Believe it or not, I did the impossible. And I finished a cushion foundation and already put in the refill. And yeah, there's still a little bit in there. I don't know if you can see that because again, the lights don't catch this that well. There's still a little bit in the corners, but it was getting really kind of annoying and kind of a bit icky to get the last bits out. So it's pretty much finished. It started to dry out as well. So since I still had a refill anyway, I just put in the refill. And this one is done. And it is the H20's Perfect Glass Essence Cover Pack, which to me still is one of the absolute best cushion foundations, especially if you have more mature skin, because it is one of the few ones that does not sit in your wrinkles as prominently, especially the more matte cushions from, let's say, Clio, for instance. Who else does a matte one? I think Espoir does a matte one. And Wake Make also did one that I actually tried and thought it was more kind of dewy, but it turned out to be matte. Those don't work very well for my mature skin. They will just, especially around here and around the nose, will just very strongly enhance my wrinkles and my texture issues. It's just, I'm done, I think, with matte foundations, which is strange because for all of my younger years, that was kind of what I used because I was quite oily. It's aging is just a weird experience. Suddenly everything kind of changes in your face. I don't know. Yeah, so now I'm not really an oily girl anymore. And the Glowier foundations do much better for me. Some glowy cushion foundations, however, I feel just don't give the coverage that I still need. This one is really the perfect amount of still very natural looking coverage, while at the same time looking very dewy and lovely. This is a wonderful cushion foundation that I wish more people would talk about. I still have another cushion now because I had a refill, and I would always repurchase this. And I'm done with my trash. I won't show you the box too much because it's yucky. I have to clean it, I think. Yeah, I won't show you that, but it is empty. There you go. And thank you so much for helping me take out my beauty trash. And now I can check it all out. I hope that my shorter reviews of these emptied products were of any help to you. If you are new here, it would be fantastic if you could stick around. It's so helpful whenever someone subscribes. One of the most important things to do to support content creators is to subscribe, to like their content, to leave a comment, preferably a nice comment, and just make sure that you engage with the content if you enjoyed it or found it helpful. And I would love to see you here as a new subscriber. At the moment, there is a new video every other week. Maybe I'll go back to every week at some point, but every other week at the moment works better for me. So I see you again in 2 weeks. I already have a few ideas for new videos. I've been trying a lot of new products that I really want to talk about, so I am excited for the new videos, and I hope to see you again then. And until then, please take care. Bye!